Boom, just like that, we start the video. Got my hand down here. I taped the camera up there so you can probably see down. And what we're going to start with right now is the telephone. The number one key has no letters, but yet when you go to the bank machine, they put a Q and a Z. The 2, the 3, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And going to be marking this one over here is the, I didn't mark 7, 8, 9, but this is 7, and this is 8, and this is 9. The numbers that I'm associating here are in letters, N-I-N-E, from numerological calculation, starting with A first. And some people might ask, well, why don't you start at Z? Why don't you start at 11, since 1 to 10 are something else, right? The J is inside of A, right? The J is inside of A in the circle because of 10. Because of 10 equals to 39, but if I say it in French, it equals to 37. The center of roulette is this number over here, 37. Yes, 17 and 20, the Q and the T, the 16 and the 19th, which is standards and poor, and then you get to the 18th and 21st when you're in the streets of Nibiru in the Saturn sky. This design over here, now we're going to come back to these numbers here, 1 and 5, 6. The letters DEF add up to 15, GHI 24, JKL, MNO, and all these numbers, letters add up to these numbers. Ironic, 6, 6, 2 and 4, 6, 3 and 3, 6, 4 and 2, 6. At 7, 8, and 9, it becomes different. It becomes 7, 3, 9. But they removed the Q, sending it over to 1. So it becomes 53, which is now 8. This stays the same and it's Tav, and there's a Hebrew letter in this, and 7 by 7 equals 49. And this one they remove the Z, equaling it to 72, becomes 9, becomes 8, becomes 3, becomes 9. 8, 3 is 24, 8, 9 is 72, 8, 3 is 11, the total is 20. The total over here is 18, total over here is 21. They now put this over here, giving the total over here of 26 equal to 43, becomes 766. Becomes 666, becomes 836. So just basic values. I'm not sure where to use it. 9 times 8 is 72 when a big red sun. At the gates, 1 and 7, the gates of Mars when a big red sun. Maybe that's why we always have the red eye, because we're looking in from elsewhere. He gives us 89 in the passage of 55. 9 times 8, 9 plus 8. This will create when a big red sun. Letters for letters. Down here, what I want to talk about is what John was talking about, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. But here what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's all I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using the same one instead of continuing and going 1, 2, 3 and leave spaces. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, which is another equation, of course, for a better understanding. That when we create this, we go this way and we go this way. Inside a 2, it's an open space. Area 55 meets over here. The club is designed. Here is the hat or the rainbow from 3 to 1 to 3 to 1. Here's your rainbow on the inside. So you need a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes in order to create this, and you need the 8 box for the continuation, right? They're all half boxes. 7x, 7x the other way. At the same time, if you take a good look, okay, if you take a good look, see if I put it upside down, right side up, it creates 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And everybody knows that the reverse of all 2's, right, 2 and 5 are all the same. And it's ironic that one of the Mayan counts is 25, 625, in which is 41 times 625 equals 25, 625, and it's 25 times 25 equaling to 625. In the 10 worlds, 85 and 85 will create 1, 1, and will create the same thing. 85 will create 11, 11 inside this calculation, which creates 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 1 is 2, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 times 1 times 1 is 3 and 2. And they call that any craps. Any craps, 5 and 3, electric company. The same thing with the 85, which is also silver spirit. If you add 15 and 8 becomes 9 and 5 becomes 1, which is the A and I system. If 8, okay, gets 5, it becomes 4. If 5 minuses 1, it becomes 4. If you add, it becomes 6, which equals 31 altered current. 31 altered current. This is the number to Mars. 15 and 85 is 100. Otherwise, it becomes 91. The reverse becomes 64. The difference is 45, and that's the Fox passage in the sun. So we understand this scenario and what happens in between here. And then in between here is what I call the lady with the hair hanging down. You see the way, or the fox, you see these two eyes, the nose, or the same thing as the lady, the two eyes, right? This standing up on here, standing up on here. So what I can do, if I really want, is I can create the club. See the outside creating the club and the spade in one. Now we're going to go to the last part about the video, in which is this. I don't know if I can do it now. Up this way, down this way, up this way creates a 4. If I do it the opposite way, I create the 6, Roman numeral 1V. So up here, down here, up here. Then over here, down here. Up here, down here, over here. Anyways, without taking your pen off or going over any of the lines twice, it can be redone. Here's the short image of the last page. I'm going to show you from these two images. We hang upside down this image over here. This is that link, that cancer link to both sides. And then on each side of this, where am I going with this? Well, if I worked in the elements, if I worked with weights and measures, or I worked with elements, and I would see where the same designs comes through those numbers, I'll understand what they're exactly doing over here, right? So now you come down this way. Okay, I'm supposed to go this way, but what happens if I went up this way, right? And I created 6 and 9 on each side, strangling these two numbers. Now at this one over here, it's the same thing, but it's a larger box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is an obligation. This is an absolute obligation. Just wanted to tell you that when you, in the last page for a second, that when you bring these together, you create the triangle. 2, 3, 2 creates the triangle, bringing the faces 7s together. Otherwise, you create the horns. Two of them create the horns, bringing them together. 3 to 2, 1 to 2, and 3 to 2 creates this design. 2 to 3 and 3 to 2 create this design. This triangle, 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 upside down. Now, I'm not going to get into that anymore. So now we have this basic design over here. Let me just tilt my camera. Okay, maybe I'll do it this way. Now we have this design. So we all know it went from 1 and over to 4. Why is it down here? Because otherwise this box would be up here and this box would be over here. And in between these, how many difference do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have enough for 2 more boxes here, 2 more boxes here, 2 more boxes here, 2 more boxes here. So now by doing this, I end up that I can have an exact in-between box here, an exact in-between box here. Okay, you see there's only a half space, and then we have the center right over here. We have the center, 1 1/2, 1 1/2. That is the center. That is the center. I don't know how to explain or why or what, but those are the centers. And over here, it's almost like when you're playing cards and you see the centers, the halfway box, that's down here. So these are all the these are all the centers to the greater design that John was showing me. Right? Because we all know creation, right? We all know creation. It's written in words. We just don't understand it. That's all it is. Everything's been transformed into alternate words. So now we've done all this. And we're going to continue on and finish the cube effect of this scenario. So now we have all these designs. But the real design is where? Do we need space between every box? Just like on a calculator, you need space. The element of space. Right, the element of space. So now your question is, can I connect from here to here, over to here, down to here? And that's what I'm going to do next. But I want to show you this step by step. So here we have 1 to 2, all the way to 8, all the way to Uranus, and all the way up, down over here into Jupiter. I'm going to use a black pen for the next one, although I said I wasn't going to. I am going to use a black pen. I got to see what paper I'm going to put it with. Just can't put it with any piece of paper. Is that correct? Right. Great never is the best. The I world, try harder. The E spirit, the I man, the connection to the angel program, passage to the matrix cleansing. I want to use that paper. So we're going to use this one. It's just a medical paper. Got to go back for my elbow, just like that. So now in this one over here, we're going to use the other side. We're going to go to 2, over to 6, down to 8, over to 9, and back to 5. I can go 1, 2, 1. I can go 1, 2, 1. I can go 4, 5, 4. I can go 7, 8, 7. Instead of doing the calculations that way, we're gonna switch and we're gonna go 1, 2, 1. We're gonna go 4, 5, 4. Instead of doing 7, 8, 9, we're gonna do 1, 2, 1 again, and this will be our complete markup. We switched all the numbers around because we wouldn't understand this, right? But this is the reality of what it is. 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1. We do this, we get 7. We do this, we get 7. We do this, we get 9. We do this, we get 9. We do this, we get 4. We do this, we get 4. We do this over here, we get 6. We do this over here, we get 6. We end up with 7, 4, 9, 4, 7, 6, 9, 6, 7. And that's the reality of this. If we multiply this, we get 2. If we multiply this, we get 80. We multiply this, we get 2. We multiply this, we get 5. We multiply this, we get 5. We multiply this, we get 4. We multiply this, we get 20. We multiply this, we get 4. 420, 420. 420, 420. You ever hear of 420? It equals to 80. 5, 2, 7, 8, 7, the gateway and the passageway. So let's continue on to this design over here. And the design that comes from this angle over here, I don't know why I have it done that way. I should have not had that done that way. There is something, I have to jump off this subject. We're way into the video now. But I did want to mention something. I hope you make it this far in the video, is that when you're creating the pattern, right, and then you're creating again the pattern, so we created this pattern, and John, you drew a line all the way through, and really you can only draw a line to here. You cannot draw a line here, and you cannot draw a line over here as you did, John. And the reason for that is because you have to be on squares. If you're doing it on squares, okay, this box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This box is 8 by 8. If I did this 7 by 7, 1, 2, well, how can I do it 7 by 7? I wouldn't be able to do it 7 by 7 because these two have to be perfect. If I did 3, okay, if I did 3 and 3, I'd have 6 and 6, so I couldn't do it. So the reason I say that is because we cannot draw another line out here until we have another box, because we have to meet in the center, in between. Since this one is in between and it's obligated in between, right, we can go further, but there's no place to stop. And you don't want to stop on the wall because it goes through the wall. So this would actually be the eyes of the duck, if you want to look at it that way. Quack, 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 right? The eyes of the duck. Quack. We're going to come back to this one and finish this one. And if you notice, it was this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. This line is not existing. Okay, I cannot make this line exist. And secondly, the reason I can't make that line exist is because that's not my line. So we're passing through this one, right? Which now, what is the number between here? Here's 1, here's 1, here's 2, here's 4. Obviously, the number over here is 3. So we're going to put a 3. Now we take this box and go this way, right? This is 3. This is 2. This over here is 6. Between 2 and 6, well, that number would have to be 4. We're passing through DC. Then we get it again. Boom, boom, boom. We're coming to 8. We're coming from 6 to 8. We have to pass through here. That's 7. And on this side, we're going over to 7, over to 5. In between, that's 6. The diameter to the moon is 3476. The word gold is 3476. And there's gold in the moon, and it's a rush. The numbers between here and here, this is 2, this is 5, this is 3.5. The number between here and here is 5 and 8. That would be 6.5. And these are your numbers, and I'm not sure where they're used, but this is creation of your DNA, the IT system of electric company running through the red sun. This is not the red sun yet. So this is this whole design. Now, if we design in here, and we started this same rodent coil design on the inside, we would be going from 3 to 3.5. Okay. Oh, we didn't do these two yet. This is 4. This is 5. This is 4.5. And this one over here between 5 and 6. This one is 5.5. So if we were recreating, we would be going from here to here to here to here to here to here. And those numbers are 3 to 3.5, over to 4.5, down over to 6.5, over to here, which would be 6, and we would all work out to the same number back over here, back into 5. If we were running it the other way, right, from over here, we would be running from the reverse angle, and we'd be running from here, which is 4, over to 3.5, and then we'd be running 3.5 over to 5.5, and we run 5.5 over to 6.5, and we run 6.5 over to 7, and then 7 back into 5. So it would be 4, 8, 1, 4, 8, 1, 2, 7, 5. 4, 8, 1, 2, 7, 5. Pluto, Father Moon. And this would be 3, 8, 9, 2, 6, 5. Wow, the high birth and the dog, the church, the eye birth, the doghouse, into the sun, G and E. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because that's what these letters exactly say. This is 17, the alternate gates. This is 81, Venus to the alternate gate. 2 and 1 come together is 3. Automatic, because there is no 2 and 1. 1 and 2 is part of everything. 2, when you see 1 and 2, bring it to the power. 1 to any power is 1, but 2 to the power of 2 is 4, and then 8. 4 and 8. We don't even need this number over here. We know 4 and 8, 7 and 5. 7 and 5 is inside 4 and 8, running all about 6. 1 and 2, 3 and 3. 1, 2 equals 3. 3 and 3 is 6. Raphael, check that out. Check that out. What is that? That's crazy. What is that? Oh my God. What can that be? Raphael, showing you what writes the most. And yep, at the end of my beak is my nose. Thank you for watching this video. Anyways, I want to show you my setup in the camera before I let it go. There's my computer with a piece of wood and the camera, holding up this board that I can hang it on. And I'm going to take the camera off now and just show you what's on the other side. When you put 5, 2, 1 together, it sort of makes two birds in memory. Raphael 7286, thank you for watching.